Hello students, welcome to the class. In this video, we are going to look at two figures of speech, simile and metaphor, which are part of a vocabulary component of Unit 1 in Semester 2. Before we actually learn about simile and metaphor, let's try to understand what's a figure of speech. Both simile and metaphor belong to a group called figures of speech. They're not parts of speech, but they add life and color into what we read. So many types of figures of speech, alliteration, simile, and so on. So now let's look into what a figure of speech actually means. A figure of speech is a phrase or a word having different meanings than its literal meanings. That means it's a phrase of words or a word which has two meanings, probably, and the figurative meaning is not equal to the literal meaning. So it conveys meaning by identifying one thing to another or by comparing one thing to another, and of which one of the meaning is very familiar to the audience. So it is helpful in creating an effect in the minds of the reader. Okay, in this video, we are going to look at two figures of speech. One is simile and the other is metaphor. Let's look at simile first. Now, what is a simile? A simile is a figure of speech that makes a comparison between two things, between two different things, but they have some similarities. So it's a comparison. A simile draws a resemblance between two different things with the help of words like or as. It is a direct comparison. For example, our soldiers are as brave as lions. So soldiers are directly compared to lions. He is as funny as a monkey. He is directly compared with a monkey. When the examination finished, the candidate felt as light as a feather. So the feeling of the candidate is compared to the lightness of the feather. So in a simile, there is a comparison between two things using words as or like. For example, if you think of a girl, she has blue eyes, she's blonde, and she has a bright smile. And then you have the sun, round, yellow, and bright. Now we find that there are a matching adjectives, bright, between the girl as well as the sun. So we can use this adjective bright as a simile. Her smile is as bright as the sun, or her smile is bright like the sun. So what is the function of simile in life and literature? For example, poetry or novels. Now, similes attract attention of the reader. They directly appeal to the senses of the reader, like sight or taste or smell. They are very encouraging to our imagination to understand what is being communicated. They relate to the feelings of a poet or a writer. Now let's move on to understand what's a metaphor. Now a metaphor is also a comparison between two unlike things, but then it has a hidden meaning. It has an implicit or implied meaning. A simile is a direct comparison, but a metaphor is a hidden comparison. In other words, a resemblance of two contradictory or different objects is made based on a single or some common characteristics. Example, laughter is the best medicine. The laughter is not a medicine, and medicine and laughter are very different things. Laughter is said as the best medicine. So it has the ability, just like medicine, to cure illness or sickness to some extent. He is a night owl. Here, a person is compared with an owl. Very unlikely. Now, a night owl could mean just like the owl is active at night, he is very active in the night times. Let's look some more examples of metaphors. Franklin has a heart of gold. Mary's voice is music to my ears. He's a walking encyclopedia. The world's a stage. You are my sunshine. If you observe, you are not using words like as or like to make the comparison, and it's a hidden meaning in each of these expressions. They are metaphors. Some more examples like my brother was boiling mad, which could mean that he was very angry. The assignment was a breeze. This implies the assignment was very easy and not at all difficult. Her voice is music to his ears. This implies that her voice makes him feel happy. Right. So what is the function of metaphor in life and literature? Now, metaphor also, just like the simile, they appeal directly to the senses of the listeners. They also help sharpen our imagination to understand what is being communicated. They give a lifelike quality to our conversations and the characters of fiction or poetry. One important function of metaphor is they are also ways of thinking. They offer the listeners a fresh way of looking at the world or examining some idea. Now, if we are given a statement, how can we decide if it's a simile or a metaphor? The first thing we need to do is we need to observe if any two things are being compared in that statement. If yes, then we have to move forward. If no, then it's neither a simile nor a metaphor. If yes, then we have to observe, are the two things unlike or the two things unlike. If no, again it's not a simile or a metaphor. If yes, then we have to look if words like as or like used in that expression. If they are used, it's a simile. If they are not used, it's a metaphor. Now let's look at some examples and understand the difference between similes and metaphors. Her heart is like gold, like simile. Her heart is gold, metaphor. The world is like a stage, simile. The world's a stage, metaphor. He eats like a pig, simile. He is a pig, metaphor. So these are some examples which give us the differences between similes and metaphors. And at the end, look at this. You're as skinny as a rail, a simile. You are a mountain, a metaphor. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any queries about similes and metaphors, you can reach us at the details given here. Thank you. Have a good day.